ready to head out? Here we are. The COS.io Corporation office building. It looks like most of the businesses on this block are a part of the same corporate coalition under COS.io. Well, perhaps. At the very least, it means it's unlikely they're the ones interfering with Augmented Eye's articles. Not impossible, but unlikely. That makes sense. The MeshNet says Augmented Eye's SF office is run by an individual named Zin, and Tomcat confirmed she's expecting us. All we have to do now is head up and talk to her. No shenanigans this time.
Hello. Welcome to Augmented Eye. You must be the journalist my network admin said would be showing up. Have a seat. Would you like a drink? My assistant will bring it right away. Look, I'll start off by saying I'm a little uncomfortable about bringing in another journalist to look into this. Whatever you dig up, I'll have to explain to the rest of the press. But it's still better than the other options. Chances are I have another corporation scoping out my territory. If they aren't in the coalition, they'll be expecting a corporate spy, not a news hound. If they are in the coalition, it won't look good for me to send in my own reporters against my allies. Even if I do end up being right. So if I'm damned either way, I'd rather it be by the media. At least then we can fight back on a familiar battlefield. Now, what do you know about our problem here? That's the long and short of it. My network admin is pulling their hair out over it. I'm not going to pretend I understand everything they say, but from what I understand, the changes to our articles aren't being made from inside our network. The versions on our servers are still the originals, but at some point after they hit the mesh, they get changed. I'm hoping that you can do some digging, maybe hit up your contacts and get a lead on who might be doing it. Even if I have to get answers from the nightly news, it will be a big help. Mostly little things. Word choice, tone of the writing, things that make the writer appear more or less extreme on a topic. So far, almost all of the edits seem to be making our articles more positive on new technologies coming out, and more critical of organizations like the Human Revolution. That's actually what tipped us off. A harsh criticism one of my writers made about the Human Revolution protests was changed to be downright vitriolic, and I had a hell of a time putting out the fires. My writers and readers aren't exactly fans of them, but I'd rather not pick fights with the Human Revolution if I don't have to. I guess I'm not, but my network admin assures me it's all coming from somewhere else. They told me that they tore out all of the routers that broadcast to the mesh and replaced them with fresh ones. All kinds of tricks involving IP addresses and DNS changes that I'm not going to even begin to claim. I pay them big bucks, so I'm inclined to believe them unless you dig up something that tells me. Not really. My admin says that only someone with intimate access to Parallax's network protocols could. Personally, I think it's a clever hacker rather than someone inside Parallax itself. The public trust rating of Parallax makes them look like a saint among wolves, so their control over the mesh network provisions is strangling. It's trivially easy to set up ROMs to use a different OS than LIPS or a different meshnet protocol without that trust. Or, Parallax is abusing its power to spread pro-tech propaganda. Doubtful they need to. I'm sure you'll be a good journo and bring me back the right answer. I know tin hat conspiracies aren't an ideal start, but anything else I can tell you, off the record? If you want it on the record, it'll cost you your firstborn and a really good cigar. Like what? There isn't much more I can tell you about. It's a fairly simple and straightforward operation, We started off in Venezuela as a sleek current events and news organization in 2055. Almost 10 years ago now. We focus on more in-depth reporting of on-the-street happenings, on top of major news. We're one of the few good ones left. Once folks in other cities saw the type of reporting we do, they all clamored for it. They invested in the right places, and it paid off. COS-IO Corp is happy to have us here in the OSF. It wasn't until hybrid tech started hitting the public sphere that we had to make any changes to our model. All of that said, I can't see why anyone would target us. Unless they're just trying to embroil us in a mudslinging match with the Human Revolution, and there are much more direct ways of making that happen. Alright, look. I wasn't going to tell you this. If it gets out, I'd have to answer some really hard questions. So, you didn't hear this from me. You might want to go check out TMI Entertainment and Charlie Nova. That's all I'll say. And remember, you take a bite out of him with my name as your defense, I drop you fast. What? Not wanting to answer prying questions from my coalition board isn't a... 'Cause I'd really like to avoid that. And look, you've covered culture wars, right? My journalists are good, but they're mostly good at gadget reviews, implant releases, not taking too many stims so they remember what they did at raves for the after... This needs an investigative journalist with serious contacts, not tech personalities. The fact that my network admin recommended you to me means you probably know the right people. Now, does that cover it? I'd like to remove my nose. No, don't bother. In hindsight, I probably should have been a bit more circumspect about plausible deniability and all that. I won't ask you to lie in anything you write, but do remember you got in contact with me not even second-hand, but third-hand. I certainly didn't sick you on anyone. Wink wink, nudge nudge, or whatever. If you need anything else, have your person get with my person. Don't... Now, I'd show you the door, but you know the way. And good luck, and goodbye.
Well, that was more confrontational than I'd have expected, considering she was the one needing help. She never brought you that water, either. Is it always like this? Very true. I will admit that I am interested in the If all of this really is due to somebody manipulating the mesh net on the inside, it may give us the leverage we need to find out what happened to Hayden once and for all. That said, I will take care not to get my hopes up. We should make no assumptions when investigating, lest we lead ourselves down a false path. Anyway, seems like our next step is... What the... What the... That's Zin! She was defenestrated. Emergency services are already on the way, and we are severely ill-equipped to help her. We should head back to her office and see if we can determine what happened here. Perhaps we can still dispense justice. This is how we dispense justice, right? It looks like the desk has been cleared off. Let's take a look around, but be careful not to disturb any evidence. The police will be here. Her personal computer is not passed. Give me a moment to... Best to keep your fingerprints off of the keyboard. Most of the committee reports... Oh, here we... According to this email between Zin and her network admin, her lead on TMI Entertainment is a little more solid than she led us to believe. The admin ran a web crawler looking for changes in writing styles. Some blog posts by their head anchor Charlie Nova stood out like... Apparently he's a bit pompous, if in an affable way, and his blog usually just details his day-to-day life. But ever since the human revolution has been in town, he's been smearing them with more venom than you'd expect, considering how neutral his on-air reporting has been. Zin seemed to think he was just complaining about the protesters fouling up traffic, and whoever is manipulating these posts spun it to make him look critical of the movement as a whole. Just like the Augmented Eye journalist. This Charlie fellow is the one we need to talk to. My thermal sensors only detect a single set of lingering footprints, and they end almost 3 feet away from the window. Considering the density of this glass, I can't imagine Zin jumped from that far and managed to throw herself through the pane with... But who could have done it? I don't see any obvious marks on the floor, or... It doesn't look like it. We should go. There isn't anything else here, and the police are almost on the scene.
Son of a... I should have figured the two of you would be here. You just won't stay out of trouble no matter what I say, will you?
I assure you, Detective Rivers, we are merely in the wrong place at the wrong time. We had an appointment with Zin to discuss a possible lead and found her office in this state of disrepair.
course you did. Damn it. Fine, fine. Get the hell out of here before anyone else shows up. We'll chat about the case more when I'm not busy scraping bodies off the pavement. You hear me?
Certainly, Detective Rivers. I'll forward you a report of what we know immediately, and we can speak further at a later time.
Yeah, whatever. Get moving.
Ooh. Because it's better this way. We are chasing I do not need you to infer upon my motivations. Detective Rivers has every bit of information that Zin... Her investigation will not be hampered by our absence, whereas ours is halted if we're stuck giving answers she can just as well... Literally. Has it occurred to you that whoever threw Zin out of that window could be after the same thing we are, except to silence the story rather than to get it out? We have little time for fooling about, and must get to Charlie Nova before something happens to him. Now, unless you have further recriminations to level at me, I have highlighted the main Neo-SF offices for TMI in... Let's go! I hope some pity for me still remains, considering my recent tone, because I'm honestly not sure where we should start. I suppose we should just ask the receptionist to point us to somebody who can answer our questions. Honestly, you do have your own mesh access, yes? I'm quite certain you can handle all the casual searches you might feel like making. We hardly have time for me to blather out every bit of exposition you desire when you could just go look it up on your own. No, I'm sorry. I'm just a bit on edge. Things are barreling out of our control, and I'm taking it out on you. Forgive me. Let me pull up the information. TMI Entertainment is a relatively popular celebrity and gossip news conglomerate. They own OK Today. They did a good job transitioning from the traditional media models of television and news to the net-based model prevalent now, pioneered by their digital newspaper, OK Today's The Scanline. Some might call their programs rags, but opinion on the mesh seems more favorable than not. They stick to mostly good-natured prying and lean away from the seedier nastiness that paparazzi can get up to. As such, they have a positive relationship with many celebrities and regularly get exclusive scoops that keep their ratings up, despite their refusal to peddle in the darker side of the celebrity news circuit. Charlie Nova is TMI Entertainment's most popular TV personality. He's gotten consistently high ratings for almost a decade and isn't afraid to tell you about it. The chatter on the mesh paints him as a bit arrogant, but in that loud, backslapping kind of way that a media star can get away with. He's best known for hosting Star in the Stratosphere. It's one of those talent-seeking reality programs. Apparently, when TMI can't organically discover enough celebrities, they just manufacture them. Oh, and also, according to this blog, Charlie's hair is flawless.
Welcome to TMI Entertainment Incorporated. Do you have an appointment Batman? I really can't let you in with... I can maybe pencil you...
We don't have time for this. People's lives are on the line.
Look. But she isn't going to be very... And, try not to make her too mad.
Right, of course.
Okay, she's over on... Head straight there, because she doesn't like it when people bother the town.
Hey, you, over here, now. What are you doing, bother? I thought I told Nina to cancel. I swear, that girl couldn't find her ears if I taped them over her eyes. At least she makes a decent cup of coffee. Yes, I am. And if you don't mind, I keep the show running here, so I'll be brief. What are you doing in my building?
We've been given a lead on a story that involves... Someone has been manipulating his articles on the Meshnet. We're trying to track the culprit, and we need to talk to Mr. No...
You let your ROM do all the talking for you? Must be one of those new Of course I know someone's been modifying Charlie's articles. I'm tracking them down myself. What I want to know is why I should help you snatch the scoop out from underneath me. Super hacker twists Meshnet news for personal political vendetta? The cliques basically farm themselves. Not interested. I already have a pretty decent idea of where to look next. And I'll figure this one out on my own. I'm not hiring, kid. I admire your spirit, but I've got people putting in lots of hours on this one. Plus, if you really did, you wouldn't be here begging for my scraps. Zin? Augmented eye. What does Zin have to do with this?
She's the one who gave us the lead to begin with. Then, someone threw her out of her office window. We figured Mr. Nova might be next, and we wanted to get to him first.
Holy shit. Fine, I'll let you talk to Charlie. If someone is trying to kill people over this, I'd rather it be out and done with as fast as possible. I mean, shit, we're an entertainment scene. Nobody should die for that. But hey, watch yourself with Charlie. He's a pompous clown, but he's my pompous clown. Keep it civil, or I'll throw your ass out and figure this out on my own. Now get on it. I need to make some calls.
Fantastic! How fantastic! I just love your ROM. Not quite as stunning as mine, but still pretty grand. Very sleek, very clean. Bravo. Oh, Sympathy is doing that thing where she waves at me to hurry things up. Right down to brass tacks then, I suppose. Wait! I forgot to introduce myself. I'm Charlie Nova, host of Tonight in the Stars and Star in the Stratosphere. But you already knew that, I'm sure. What can I do for you, Oh, you flatter me. Yes, you do. I can't imagine you've come all this way just to get my story. After all, I've already published my very own splendid 100% original autobiography, Like a Nova. But I suppose I can give you a quick rundown, even if sympathy is giving me the stink eye. I grew up here on the mean streets of Neo-SF, but my jocular nature and striking countenance, and the rest is not so ancient history. Now I'm the host of the largest celebrity news show on the Mesh. It's all thanks to my swarms of fans, though. They're the ones who count.
Yes, any additional information?
Well, it's the best damn network on the planet, I can tell you that. We put out top-notch news and entertainment, but with real heart that our competitors just can't match. But if you really want to know about TMI, you need to know about Sympathy. It's her pride and joy, after all. Sure, she can be a little acerbic, and sure, she calls me a poofy-haired oaf all the time, but you can really tell she cares, you know? Deep down. I'm not sure if that throat-cutting gesture she's making is a signal to move to another topic or a threat against my physical well-being. So, let's move on. What next? Oh, it may have come up in the last lunch meeting we had, but Sympathy assured me that it was some kind of technical glitch, and our support people were on top of it. They're top-notch, the absolute best money can buy. So I don't think there's anything more to say on the subject. That's very upsetting. I hope you've passed along that information to Sympathy. I'm certain our tech people will be able to find the culprit in short order once they know enough about it. I really don't know what I have to do with it, though. And that is supposed to mean... I'm not sure if you're trying to imply that I had something to do with it. My time is far too important to be wasted on...
All right, that's enough. Charlie has a show to get ready for. So get the hell out of here. If you find anything more interesting than what you've got, come back and see me directly.
Remember, I'm the victim in all this.
Oh, man. She looks really cheesed off. I better get her coffee ready. Maybe...
We're very sorry if we made your... Perhaps I could take the coffee over to Sympathy.
Yeah, okay, sure. I mean... Oh no. On second thought...
It'll only take a minute.
Alright, but she takes it with plenty of milk.
I told you to beat it. Ha! That's cute. I I promise I don't bite. I just have a job to do. Sometimes I think Charlie's hair gel seeps into his brain, but he brings in most of our revenue, so he... Now, Scram, you know how to get in touch with me.
That did not go well at all. We need some kind of leverage to get Mr. Nova to get... I'm certain he knows something. Don't you agree? Indeed. While you were talking to him, I took... It turns out he did a series of promos for a local Hassie bar early in his career, and some fans still spot him there from time to time. It's a long shot, but frankly, everything about this case has been one long shot after another. Maybe we should question the people at this Hassie establishment and look for any dirt we can use to put some pressure on Mr. Nova. There must be something. It's the only path. The Hassie bar is located on Market Street, near the G... This is pretty innocuous. We are going to need more evidence if we're to fabricate a believable story that will convince Mr. Nova it's in his best interest to help us.
Oh, hey, it's you! Wow, long time.
Who's this?
Hey, not too old now. Did you manage to keep that plan I got you alive? Really? Nice job. I didn't expect it to last a month. It's great to see you, though. Sorta surreal, too. You're never around on social sites or anything, you know. I bet you didn't see any of the pictures I put up from my last climbing trip in Colorado. For a tech journalist, you do have pretty poor net presence.
That's what I said.
Figures. So, what's with the bot? Yours? Really? Huh. I didn't think you liked to bring work home, as it were. Anyway, it's great to see you. What brings you to the Hassie Bar? Doing a review of that sweet weather? All right, now that's the kind of journalism I'm talking about.
Indeed, we're looking into some accusations made against Charlie Nova. And we're actually trying to build up a solid case against him.
No shit. I actually may have exactly what you need. Charlie comes here all the time. You know that show he's host of, Star in the Stratosphere? That show where normal people try to become actors and singers and all. Listen to this recording I made when he was here last month on his book tour.
So many people come up to me thinking that if they can sing or act, I'll just make them a superstar.
But that isn't how it works. Raw talent isn't enough to get you by in this industry, and anyone who thinks so is lying to themselves. It takes hard work and persistence. You gotta want it, and want it bad. But the kids I get on Star in the Stratosphere, which I host each and every week, as you all know, they're all so young and hungry. I love them. I do my damnedest to make sure they get what they want. They give me their best, so I'm gonna give them mine.
It's not much, and it might help you build a case if you chop it up right. Just keep my name off it. I post hiking pictures, not scandals. Well, if nothing else, the threat of this dropping on the mess should get them talking. Here, I just made a copy for you. Anyway, I'd love to catch up soon. For now, I'll let you keep at it. You can usually find me here if you want to chat again.
Say, why did you Very fair. You may continue to run with that as your story. Anyway.
Well, if it isn't the luckiest jerk I had to schedule a specialist to come fix my ROM. Oh well, all's well that ends well. Anyway, what can I do for you? Sure, I still have a little bit before closing, and I could use some conversation. What do you want to know? Charlie is a complete trip. We met when he was just starting out doing adverts. He still drops in every once in a while to hang out. I love the guy. He's super funny, always has the best stories, and his hair is perfect. And he parties harder than anyone I know. A couple weeks ago, he invited me to his raid at some hole that's probably already shut down, and he got so amped up on Crash that he jumped up on the table and hosted an impromptu... I swear, if he was in Charlie Novo, we would have gotten chucked out on our asses. But it was a lot of fun. If you want to meet him, just hang around here long enough. He loves mingling with his fans. Not that it helps his ego any. You don't have internal hookups, do you? The older sets are all helmets that use electric... It's pretty crude though, which is why EM hats give you that dreamlike experience. It doesn't quite feel real. The Direct Link network has way higher fidelity. It's like actually being there. And since the Direct Link can interrupt your primary motor cortex, you don't have to take muscle relaxers to keep from flailing around. But some people are still scared off by it. Well, it's pretty invasive. They inject this smart polymer into the base of your skull, right at the brainstem, and it crawls along your primary neural pathways and bonds to your major sensory centers. It's been safe for almost a decade, but a lot of folks are still pretty skeeved out by the idea of having a bunch of conductive plastic coating in the inside of their brains. Plus, for the 24 hours or so that is hooking everything up and self-calibrating, you start to have intense hallucinations because of all the electrical crossfiring. It's a trip, I'll tell you that. But no worse than the stuff people have been taking for millennia. Watching the world melt. Anyway, if you're looking to get installed, I have a guy who does great work. Just let me know. Oh, it's an ongoing drama called Magical Commander Yukino. Yukino at the Gates to the Deep. In it, you play the magical girl Yukino as she fights off elder gods as they arise from the ocean. It's a bit cliched and just about as silly as you would expect, but it includes some really interesting, all with a pseudo-military theme. In the newest episode, Yukino has to face off against the Yith as they try to inhabit the bodies of people in the present to escape their destruction in the past. Not really. Video games are about winning and manipulating the mechanics of the system to get ahead, right? Dramas are more about inhabiting the role of the character. There are rules, but they're mostly about behaving consistently in the fictional world. It's a bit like being in improv theater, except if you get too far out of your character, the system boots you out and you have to start the episode over. Everyone experiences the drama a little differently, but it stays broadly consistent because you have to maintain the behavior of the character you're inhabiting. It requires you to really get inside the head of another person. I like it better than VR games, but that's just me. It's the best! Super awesome! If you need any other suggestions, just let me know. I've played through a little bit of everything. I'm sure I could find something you'd like. Maybe a detective drama. Anyway. Sure! Just let me know if you need anything.
Frankly, I'm starting to feel Mr. Nova's clearly an upstanding but I suppose if we're in for a penny, this should be more than enough anecdotal evidence to fabricate a less than flattering image of Mr. Nova. Let us present our story. Hopefully our delay...
Hey, you two! I think I'm gonna have to let security know that you're not allowed back. Doubtful. But let's hear it. Never let it be said I didn't give someone...
So what? I like to show people a good time. There's nothing wrong with that.
Damn it, I told you to get off the crash, Charlie. Shit like this keeps coming up.
I did. And besides, I wasn't doing anything illegal.
Anyway, this is just pathetic. This is really your best attempt at blackmailing us?
Hey, that's completely out of context. And I love Captain Snuggles. Sure, we didn't get off to a good start, but he's a great cat. The best.
Charlie, flipping off a kitten? Why? Whatever, this is still nothing but hot air. You need to step up your...
Ha! You're just grasping at straws. This speech was truly a beacon of... There's no way an original sermon like that is going to convince...
Well, with some creative editing. You go public with this flimsy smear piece, I'm gonna tear you apart.
Oh, enough! I'm not cut out for this cloak and dagger game, Sympathy. What's the big deal anyway? It's not like they've got anything substantial to use. I might as well give them what they want, so they'll go away.
Tell them whatever you want. And I'll be taking that evidence.
You didn't have to do all of this. I would have helped if you had just asked. But it's always push and dig and needle, isn't it? I'm not a journalist. I'm just an anchor. I read off a teleprompter and look good doing it. I don't have much to offer you, but here's what I know. Trust me, I'd love to lay down some earth-shattering pronouncement and dazzle you. The thing is, all this stuff with my stories, stuff getting changed, making me look like I don't like the human revolution or whatever, it started after I had an upgrade made to my VR uplink hardware. The technically legal kind. Look, I like to have a good time at a party, right? But sympathy keeps hammering on me for pounding back too much crash and whatnot. Nothing illegal, but she says it makes me look like shit on camera the next day. So I went to this guy I know, good guy, everyone uses him. He's called Nanya. He does great work after just one simple back alley brain surgery, bing bang boom. I can use an app to make my VR uplink have the same effect on my brain that the stims do, without all the nasty physical side effects. It could be a coincidence, though. The tech guys didn't find anything wrong with my uplink, and they say the modifications check out. But that Nanya guy does a lot of work for media people around here, so if a bunch of posts are getting changed, maybe that's your weak link. Anyway, that's it. Pretty flimsy, but I'll send you the... If he'll even see you, that is. Well, we took far too long to get to it, but I'm quite happy to assist in any way that I can. Just make sure you source me in your article, right? Maybe run a rough draft past me and I'll give you some quotes. I'm certain that'll help signal boost the story all the way to the stratosphere. Give it the old Charlie Nova bump. Maybe we can smooth out all this silliness between us. Anyhow, I really have to get back to work. Let me know how it goes with the murderous hacker thing. My ROM will call your ROM.
This looks like the spot. I'm awfully nervous and still a bit shaken up. Let's hurry and get out of here.
Howdy! You can call me Cactus Canary!
Hey there, I go by Night Witch. My name has some pretty cool history behind it. We're some bad...
I think this is the place, but frankly, the state of this industry and the current political climate don't give me much hope for my own regulation regarding cybernetic implants is a mess of intersection between medical and tech industries. I'm rather surprised the Human Protection Act was even passed, but I suppose the possibility of hybrid genetics being passed on to offspring meant there was a considerable push from biotech companies due to patent law, and the laws about cybernetics got tacked on. Never mind. I'm just ranting. This entire investigation has been frustrating. Let's get in there and get this over with.
Hold up there, Speedy. I've never seen the two of you around here before, and I know everybody. Why don't you let me know what's going on here first before you start barging through people's doors, feel me?
Hello? We're just here to speak to Nanya about something.
Just got into town and you're already asking favors from folks, huh? Tisk, 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 my little blue friend.
What? No, it's not like that. Listen, we don't want any trouble, but we're kind of in a hurry.
Trouble? There's no trouble here. We can be friends. I like this one. You're a little more street smart than your blue bot buddy here, I see. No, I like you too. You're cool in my book. And since we're all such good friends now, maybe you'll be willing to give back to the community and do a favor for your new pal Formula first. You see, I'm a budding street musician, working on my next big hit, feel me? But I'm sorta stuck on a few lines. I just gotta get these last few rhymes right. Maybe you could share a little of your creativity with me and see what we come up with. Come on, it'll be fun.
Are you sure about this? You know how important this has become. Time is of the essence.
You don't have time to not help me.
Huh?
What do you think would take helping an up-and-coming singer-songwriter finish a guaranteed... Or you could ignore me and maybe I'll send over an anonymous tip to the Neo SFPD. You see, I know for a fact that everything inside this shop here is 100% legal. But I bet whatever you got in your mind sure ain't. Even if they didn't find anything, it'd take the rest of the day to iron out. People like you don't come down here for anything boring. We clean up good. How well do you cover your tracks when you're in such a hurry, I wonder?
This isn't good. If Lexi in particular gets suspicious and starts tracking us down, things will become rougher for us. Not to mention all the other people it could indirectly affect. This whole case is life or death.
Kind of a dramatic rhyme, ain't it? But I made my point clear. If you don't help me out, I'll make sure you never get in. He's my buddy. Done me a favor or two, so I return. That's how we do things around here. I knew you'd see it my way. All you gotta do is help me complete my rhymes, you dig? A couple of them are just missing a word or two, but if I really want to make this song fantastic, I'm gonna need some killer inspiration. It's gonna be super cred. Anyway, you ready for this? Gonna give it a shot? That's what I like to hear. Here's the first line I'm having trouble with. You ready? It's my favorite season, only comes once a year. I'll show you the true meaning of, hang on a second. It's my favorite season, only comes once a year. I'll show you the true meaning of my holiday cheer. Hey, yeah, that totally works. Great idea, thanks a ton. Here's the next line. Ready? Pay attention now. If you bring mistletoe, you knock me off my guard. And if you want my number, You know, for this one, I don't think words are gonna be enough. I'm gonna need some inspiration to make it come together. If you've got anything to show me that you think will help me...
Wait, those are...
Ready? Pay attention. If you bring mistletoe, you knock me off my guard. And if you want my number, You know, for this one, I'm gonna need some inspiration. If you've got anything to show me... If you bring mistletoe, you knock me off my guard. But if you want my number, I'll give you my scones. That doesn't rhyme, and why would I give him scones? I love... Oh, man. I'm gonna keep thinking. But...
Haven't you...
If you bring mistletoe, you knock me off my guard. But if you want my number, I'll give you my business card. Hey, that totally works. Really, thanks so much. I'd never be able to write a song like this without you.
A Christmas-themed love song? Aren't those supposed to be...
Alright, now I need your help with just one more line. I promise it's the last one. This one's been driving me up a wall. I hope you can tackle it as well as you did the other. Ready? Here we go. This is harmony. I think we're vibing the same tones. We can ride this beat with a nice pair of... This is getting embarrassing. There's no way to salvage this one. Don't lose hope. This is harmony. I think we're vibing the same tones. We can ride this beat with a pair of GX Ultra beats. That doesn't rhyme. Oh man, you told... I'm gonna keep thinking.
Do you even...
Alright, now I need your help. This one's been dry. Ready? Here we go. This is harmony. I think we're vibing the same tones. We can ride this beat with a nice pair of... This is getting embarrassing. There's no way to salvage this. Don't lose hope. This is harmony. I think we're vibing the same tones. We can ride this beat with a pair of yummy Christmas scones.
He does know those are donuts, right?
Now that's what I call a tasty beat. That was amazing. I can't believe you pulled it off. Whatever you do for work now, it doesn't matter. You should become a musician. We totally become rivals, and I bet you that... On second thought, you keep your day job. This is my territory. You feel me? But you did help out in a huge way, so I guess you're cool. Go on in and see Nanya whenever you want. I'll just be chilling out here, soaking up the inspiration of my surroundings, baby.
Here, you can keep the It was nice meeting.
Hey, you too, little Bob Blue. That kinda rhymes.
Let's go.
Nope. Nope, I don't know you. You got someone willing to vouch for you? If not, get out of my shop. Charlie. Yeah, I remember him. It paid good enough. All right then, what can I do for you?
You are Nanya, correct?
Sure, if that's what you want to call me. If your credit's clear, you can call me whatever you want. Enough foreplay. What can I do for you? A fresh install, custom firmware, maybe an upgrade? I can pretty much do it all. But most people come in here for VR implants. Turns out brain surgery is expensive, yeah?
We're in a bad situation. Local news articles are being Charlie Novas are being manipulated as well. It didn't start happening until after he had his implant upgraded.
What are you, cops? No, worse. You're journalists. Get the hell out of my shop! I have a business to run. I don't have time to answer shit about shit that don't got shit to do with me. You found the door before, find it again. And tell Charlie he can get someone else to do him a rush job when he's back on stims and needs a workaround. He ain't welcome around here anymore.
Give us a moment, please. I don't know about you, but I'm getting tired of being given the runaround by these meatbags. We could just find some bribe or blackmail to get what we want from this Nanya. But I have an idea. Keep him up. Just do what you normally do and nothing about the blog post, though. It'll only take a minute.
Are you gonna get going, or am I... Damn straight. Now... I didn't!
We were just hoping to get some more background information.
Shit. Fine, whatever. I'll tell you what you want. Doctor-patient confidential. Just promise me it'll get you the hell out of my shop.
Deal. Sorry for this. Our circumstances have gotten...
There's no way to hack a VR implant like... I mean, you can definitely install hostile firmware on one, but you can't... Any changes to the loaded firmware will trigger some really obvious visual indicators to let you... I've never heard of anyone being able to circumvent them. The only person who could have loaded hostile firmware... And don't try and go there. I get paid too much to risk my reputation over changing...
What about using the mesh to mess with the implant?
No, the implant itself doesn't have any kind of wireless connection. You have to use a headset with an induction coil for I/O. Wireless just doesn't have the bandwidth for it. You might be able to try infecting a ROM with some virus that screws with the I/O, but you only use a connection to a ROM for AR hubs. They can't handle full simulation. You'd need a full rig and a hardline connection to the net to do that. So, I'd give it a big maybe. If that's actually how it all happened, they probably would have found whatever infected his ROM way before you showed up here to bother me.
Could it have just been faulty parts? Not to be too blunt about it, but this field... Maybe your supplier sent you...
Damn it. Look, I get it. I'm working out of an old auto garage on the bad side of town.
But I'm a fully licensed cyber surgery tech. This entire business is legitimate. It isn't illegal to install custom parts or firmware in any current generation implants. It just breaks the warranty. My business keeps a low profile so we don't run into bogus patent infringement lawsuits from Flower Cybernetics or whatever shell company they decide to come after you with. All of my parts are sourced direct from the original manufacturer, completely above board. So if they're bad, they were built bad by the factory. Now, is that all? I have appointments. Yeah, whatever.
You may not know this, but I have a finely tuned sense of electro... We need to be able to maintain optimal contact with the mesh, catalog and use various wireless transmissions, and avoid areas. Your stock off-the-shelf ROM has very little command over the frequencies available to be scanned. But I'm starting to realize how very little of me is stock or off-the-shelf after the changes Hayden made. That means when the humidity is low, the air fairly sings for me, amongst other things. Meaning, in layman's terms, I could read his monitor over his shoulder while being across the room. Well, some. I doubt I could have handled an LCD monitor. They require extra parts I just don't have. And the fidelity is a bit low. Anyways, Nanya looked up his client records on Charlie, and I got some of the names of his other customers off of the spreadsheet. One in particular stands out. Shotaro Otsuka. Mr. Otsuka is a moderately prominent tech blogger, respected, perhaps a bit vitriolic. He catches my attention though because historically he has been very critical of Parallax in his posts. Recently, though, the tone has been increasingly moderate, and now he is almost effusive in his praise. His fans are accusing him of shilling for the company, but many of his earliest posts show some of the same manipulations that we saw from Augmented Eye and Nova's blog. Now it's like he's being ghost-written entirely. I've marked the location of Shotaro Otsuka's apartment on your map. After you. This is the building. Mr. Otsuka must do well for himself, considering the neighborhood. Not the priciest section of Neo SF, but nice enough for a self-employed tech blogger. Perhaps we should just ring the bell? We both know it won't be that easy. but it's important to maintain some courtesies.
Hey! Didn't I see you earlier at TMI? Nice to meet you. I'm Sky. My gym's closed this week for the holidays. Gonna see some family tomorrow.
Greetings, guests. I am LJ2. Shotaro Otsuka's wrong. Shotaro was not expecting any company at this hour, but I will let him know you are here. Sorry for the wait. Please hold on for just a moment while I fetch him.
That's encouraging. That was odd. Maybe try the bell again.
Greetings, guests. I am LJ2. Shotaro was not expecting any company. Sorry for the wait. Please hold.
What is taking so long? All right, third time's the charm, right? Once more, with feeling.
Greetings, guests. I am LJ2. Shotaro was not expecting it. Sorry for the wait. Please.
Why can't this ever be easy? Thank Hayden for system redundancies. Well, that's that. Let's see if we can find a way into Mr. Otsuka's apartment ourselves. Mr. Otsuka's apartment is on the The fire escape should give us... We just need something. I'm sure there's some piece of detritus or loose end lying around. Oh, that's how these things always work.
You weren't prepared for the weather, huh?
About that.
You want my umbrella?
Not for the weather. We need to...
Oh, you live here and lost your keycard. But look, as much as I... Where I come from, see...
Gym culture?
Sorry, but unless you've got anything... Don't want to get wet. These are pretty cool, but I'm not big at... Whoa!
What? We weren't going...
Oh. Then you can't have...
to start.
Those guys are gross. Oh, you're not? Hey, is this real?
You know him?
Of course I do! He's one of the most innovative tech Can I please have this? I'll give you the
I think it's a fair trade.
Thanks! Here you go! This is so exciting!
Call him. Maybe Oh well, now we... Excellent work! This window is... I'm not sure. My olfactory sensors detect chemicals associated with decaying food. It's unfamiliar. That's better. Let's take a look around. Shotaro must be plugged into the mesh. I feel like I could scream with... Nothing.
Hello, guest. Shotaro has been a bit under the weather recently. He is trying very hard to keep up with his debt.
We just checked, and...
Is there anything else I might... Shotaro has been under the weather for some time, but I could not tell you precisely when. He rarely has visitors or goes on outings, so this is only slightly abnormal. In fact, you are the first visitor he has... Several days, in fact. Perhaps you... He is. Shotaro is a... If you are a reader of his work, I run regular self-checks and have noted... I appreciate your concern. If you think I am behaving erratic... Very well.
Why would Mr. Otsuka's ROM just dump...
Shotaro has been... He is trying very hard.
We just checked, and...
Is there anything else? Very well.
Oh no! We're too late! It looks like he's been here for a couple of days, maybe a little longer. That means whoever did this did it before we even found out about all of this. Stabbed in the chest, right through the back of the chair. Looks like it severed his carotid artery. I don't want to make any assumptions, but I can't help but wonder if this was done by the same person who assaulted Zin. His ROM doesn't even think anything is wrong. We need to hurry. If I'm right, everyone we've talked to so far is in more danger than we thought. Someone is following us. We have to find his computer so I can see if I can... You interrogate his ROM. Maybe you can find out why it's acting so strange.
Shotaro has been a bit... He is trying very hard.
That's okay.
Is there anything else I might...
Shut itself down again. Let's see if we can pull some useful information. I'll start downloading. I finished my exam. I didn't find anything particularly... If we're all done here, we should hurry and go. They might be an immediate... Let's head for...
Shit! What the hell are you... Wait, let me guess. You stole some of my files, or hacked my brain, or used telepathy or some shit. Found out someone else got hit by your little ghost in the machine, and when you got there, found out he was deader than new disco. That close enough?
That is distressingly accurate.
Well, it wasn't much of a damned guess. Charlie Nova is dead.
What? Charlie is...
The autocab he was in drove him right off the bridge and into the bay. It's been all over the news for the last 10 minutes, and I'm not looking to be next. I'm getting the hell out of NeoSF, and I'm gonna forget that I ever saw you, ever knew... Hell, maybe I'll pick up a new career. I'm less likely to get murdered for being a fry cook. Have a good life!
Oh no! No! Why is this happening? There was no one in that car! No heat signatures, no wireless emissions, nothing! That wasn't even an auto cab! It's a manual! I don't know! That's it! This is too much! I've had enough! I don't care who's controlling the... Almost everyone we've talked to so far has died, and I can't live with any more blood on my hands. We're not investigating this lead any further. As of right now. I'm just done. We're completely out of leads, and I can't even imagine watching anybody else die. I couldn't handle that. We have more pressing avenues of inquiry to make. Let's move on. Well, we should go to Melody's home and...